What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's upcoming Option Pro weekly webinar where we go over plays for the upcoming week. All right, before we get started, guys, please read through this disclaimer. Pause your screen and read through this, please. All righty. Welcome back. Let's look at what we have coming up for this week. All righty, earnings-wise, Monday, nothing out there. Tuesday, pretty quiet for us. Wednesday, it's a pretty quiet week for us in that respect. All right, let's look at economic data and what we have on tap. Monday, market services PMI, factory orders at 10. Job openings Tuesday at 10. Wednesday, trade deficit and FOMCA minutes. We expect CHOP before FOMCA. Consumer credit at 3. Thursday is jobless claims. And then Friday, I'm watching this wholesale right here. All right. Pretty quiet week right there. So now let's get to the charts here. Ready? Up here, I have 3 charts, everybody. I have the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour charts. On the daily, I have the 50 and the 200 simple moving average. That's all I use. And I use volume as well down here. Here's how I find my upcoming plays and which trades I really like. All right, let's start off with SPY here. So SPY finally broke that 400. And we closed just above 400 at 467 cents. That is a bullish thing right there for crossing that line. Now, our first target will be the all-time highs of this wick right here of 403.90 that happened in the aftermarket last week. Above this, it's going to be a tight target of 405. Over 405, guys, the basis we use for at all-time highs with SPY is every $1 up. All right. With other stocks like Tesla and Amazon, we go $5 or $10 up, but with SPY we go up to the next whole number. So a break over 405, the target is 406. Now, my ideal, what I'm seeing will be the target is going to be around 410. We should hit that 410 area. A rejection of this 404 area here, guys, and if we fall under this 399 area, then we could see some pullback down towards this 390 level. So for tomorrow and this week, I'll break over this 402.50 level. The target is 404 and 405. I'll break over that is 407 and then 410. On the downside, a break under 399, traded down towards 397.50 first. And then this 396 area. A break under that, the target will be 394 area. All right, now the SPY chart looks extremely bullish, right? But when you look at the futures, it's giving me a different feel right here. What I'm seeing here is 2 days straight of trying to break out and getting rejected. Sellers stepping in here. So a break over this 40 level, guys, is a key break. Now the futures start today at 6, but I don't really pay attention to the aftermarket thing. I want to see what the pre-market is doing. So when we first open up tonight, I really don't care what we're seeing here. That's where we're breaking this 4,100 area. Then it's something else. But inside of here, I don't really care what's happening here. Aftermarket, pre-market, I do. All right. So tomorrow, what I'm looking for is a pre-market hold over 40.40. If I see that, then we're gonna push up first to this whole number of 40.50, and then we're gonna trade this every $20 up. 40.70, 40.90, up until 4,100. A rejection of this 40.40, guys, and a break under this 4,000. Our target is going to be this 39.80 area. All right, let's look at VIX, because this is the first time in a long time, in about a year, that we've been under 18. First time in about a year we've been under 18. Let's go to the, let's go to the 3-year, 1 day. First time since last year, since this virus craziness has started. This gap has been filled. Take this off now. Now we're looking for a break under this 15 area with a target of that 10, well, this 1350 and then in this 10 area. Now, for the traders that have been trading with me from 2019 and early 2020, you know that some of my swings used to be if VIX hit a 10 area, I would play swing calls on VIX, or if VIX broke 20 area, I would trade puts on it. That was great for me for a long time, but after the virus thing happened, it's been a bit crazy. All right, so now I want to see VIX stabilize between this 20 area and this 10 area first. All righty, let's get started with a couple plays that I see coming up. First one, American Airlines. What I'm liking here is riding this trend line all the way up, right? I'm liking that a lot. Second thing I'm liking is this bull flag forming. It happened right here, popped up, and it's happening again. So we'll break over this 24, 25 area, guys. We're gonna have a target of 25 and 26. We'll break over that 26. We have room up until 30. On the downside, I don't suggest it. Apple, she hasn't been the greatest. In the last, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, say 6 weeks, she's been stuck between 125 and 115. It's not a tradable range. And then now when something happens, so the volume, we could catch it here and there, but inside of here is not it's stressful trading, and we try to avoid stressful trading. Now, what I'm liking here is she broke this trend line, and she held over the trend line here. She pushed up, and she's still higher than she was, right? So what I'm watching for now is a break over this 125 for a target of 130 and then 135 area. Up above that is going to be 137.50 and 140. A rejection of this 125, right? It is not the play there, guys. The play will be a break under this 120 down towards this 116 area. A break under this 116 is going to be 114 and 110. AMD, all right, so my focus for this week will be chips. I'm expecting them to announce that their chip shortage has been resolved or something like that. See, what I'm liking here with AMD, it's held this 74 level once again. It's been a strong hold here, right? She's breaking over this 200 now. If you see here, she was rejecting it. She closed over the 200 now. So what I'm watching for is a break over this 82 area for a target of 84, 88, and 90. All right, I'm gonna stop right there for a second. If you see right here, we have a bullish weekly close. She's it's just barely doing an engulfing bullish candle right there. I'll break over this 91 area, guys. The targets will be 94 and 96, and then every $2 up until 100. Now, on the downside, I'm not going to trade it inside of here. It is not a great trade inside of here. But a break under this 74 is what I will play. All right, let's keep going here. Let's go to Nvidia first. Let's stick with the chips here. Nvidia, same thing here. Very strong close over the 50 here. It's been under that 50 for a long time, hitting it and rejecting it. It finally closed over that 50 now. Now, the first trade is going to be a break over this 555 area for a target of 565 and 575. A break over this 575 area, guys, it's going to be a target of 590 and 600. And then the highs. On the downside, a break on this 520 area. We traded lightly down toward the 500. Now, a break under this 500 again, right? I have a target of 480, 470, and 460. All right, let's go to Intel. Where are you? INTC. Here we go. All right, Intel. I'll break over this 66 area. We're going to go up towards this 68, and then this 69 and 70 area. I'll break over 70. Guys trade this up every $1. On the downside, I'm not a fan of it. MU, another great one. We'll break over this 94, guys. We have a target of 96. If that 96 breaks, we're going to go 98 and 100. I'll break over 100. We trade up every 250. So 102.50, 105. On the downside, it's a very choppy zone there. So I will say avoid it. Qualcomm, I told you guys last week, she's a great setup for a swing trade. She held this 50 3 days in a row, moved up, below flag, and now she's pushing up here. The next entry here, guys, is a close over this 140 area, say 141.50, with the target of 145, 150, and then this gap fill up. Now, swinging this wise, guys, you cannot grab the same week on this. You need to grab 4 weeks out or 6 weeks out to see some real stable profit. All right, back to it. Amazon. She's been in this choppy zone inside of here for forever. But if you see right here, she's having a nice higher highs. She's making higher lows. Sorry about that. Higher lows. A break over this 3,200 area. And we have targets of 3,240, 3,260, and then 3,300. Over 3,300, we have a target of 3,350 and 3,400. On the downside, a break under 3,100, I might risk for a trade down towards 3,050 and 3,000. If that 3,000 breaks, again, every $50. You see right here, every $50. Easy setups. B8. She keeps rejecting this 260 area. The aggressive trade here, guys, is a break over 260 for a target of 265 and 270. The next aggressive trade would be a break over 270 all the way up towards 280. A break of that's going to be 290 and 300. On the downside, a break under 248, traded back down towards 240. Alibaba. A break under 220, traded down. It's not a great trade right yet, but traded down towards 215, 210, and 205. On the upside, a break over this 232, trade up towards 235, 240. If that holds on the hourly chart, the targets are 245 and 248. Baidu, she's been rejecting this trend line, but she's due to break through this trend line this week. I'm looking for a break over 230, trading this up towards 235 and 240. If that 240 breaks, my targets are 250, 263, and then 270. A break over 240, guys, is a high probability setup that I will be looking at. A Baidu, my focus so far is chips and Baidu. Remember that, chips and Baidu. All right, let's keep going here. Let's look at the banks. All right, Citibank. A break over is 74, guys. We have a target of 76, and then 77 and 78. Now, she is a slow play. She's not a scalp. You will have to size up heavy on scalps for her. It's size up heavy on scalps for her because the delta is not great. I mean, it moves, but it's not as great as other stocks you trade. On the downside, I don't like it. Let's stick with the banks here. Where's my GS? GS. We held the 320 again here. Now it's going to be a break over 330 for a target of 335 and 340. Every $5 up until 350. Over 350, the targets will be 360. All-time highs as you kind of break the highs and then hit that 360 area. On the downside, a break on the 310. Traded down towards 300 and 295. JPM, forever chop zone. A break over this, 156 is the aggressive entry for a target of 158. A break over 158, we have a target of 160 and 162. If that 162 breaks, it's going to be 165. On the downside, a break under 149, traded down towards 145. The high probability trade, the size up trade will be a break on the 145, traded down towards 142. All right, get back to our line here. Which other ones did I like? CRM. All right, she's holding this trend line on the daily, holding it strong. Now a break over this 220 is our aggressive entry. If you're scalping, it's a great scalp up from 220 for a target of 224, 226, and then 228 and 230. If you're looking to swing it, grab out, I'll say 6 to 8 weeks out, right? I'll strike up 230, right? With a target of 230, 235, and 240. Now, if she breaks under 215 on the 4-hour chart and closes under this, you hop out your swing trade. On the downside, I'm not a fan of it. All right, let's keep going here. Disney, I like it. Also, she's breaking out of her downtrend line. I'll break over this 191. We have a target of 195, 200, and then 204. On the downside, a break on the 180, traded down towards 175 and 170. DraftKings. I'm watching for that H to actually play out here. If it happens, I'm going to trade down from 58 towards 56 and 54. On the upside, I'm not too crazy about. I have my long-term trade on her. It's kind of red right now, but that's fine because I have time on it. I'll break over this 65. I'll scalp this up towards 67, 68, and then 70. On the downside, 58 I'm looking for only. Facebook, strong as hell. Alrighty. So a break over 300, right? We could trade this up towards the all-time highs of 305 area. I'll break over 305, trade this up every $2 up until 310. At 310 breaks, guys, we have targets of 312.50 and 315, all the way up until 320 area. On the downside, a break under 290, trade back down towards 285 and 280. Keep going here, FUBU, with, not too crazy about this, but a break under this 20, traded down towards 1750 and 15. On the upside, break over 25, trade a light up towards 2750 and 30. Jimmy. All right, volume has been drying out on her now. And I hate to say it, but I'm seeing a drop back down towards that 175 area coming up real soon. But I'm going to talk about that inside the chat. All right, GOGL, Alphabet, a break over 2150, guys. We have targets of 2180 and 2200. A break over 2200. Just be careful, trade it, but just be careful because you could break through and drop back down. On the downside, I don't like because that area is a big chop zone. All right, next one that I'm liking is JD. I'll break over this 86.50 level, guys. Trade back up towards 88, 89, and then 90. On the downside, I'll break under 82, trade back down towards 80 and 78. What else do we have here on here? LU. I'll handle that in the chat. Pre-market, if there's something there. Mara, all right, she's at all-time highs, but what I don't like is that Riot is not at all-time highs. So I'll break over this 52.50. We have a target of 55, and then 56 and 57. A break downside, I'm not a fan of it at all. Riot, let's cover this. Don't like this area at all. I'm not a fan of this chart right now. All right, I'll handle that in the pre-market during the week. All right, Microsoft was a great play this week for us. Now I'll break over this 244, trades up towards 246 and 248. If that 248 breaks, it's still every $2 up. On the downside, not a fan of it. Netflix finally broke through the downtrend line as well, but I'm not liking it until the break over 550 for the aggressive trade up towards 560. The safer trade is a break over 560 up towards 570, 575, and then 590. On the downside, break under 525, trade down towards 520 and 510. Neo tried to break through that the downtrend line, got rejected. I'm looking now for the break over 42.50 for a target of 45 and 47.50. On the downside, a break under 35. It's an aggressive trade down towards 32.50. The safer trade is a break under 32 down towards 30. Not a fan of this. I have this in the pre-market. Pen, a break over this 112, trade back up towards 115, 117, and 120. Keep going there. PayPal. There's been a lot of chop for right now. We'll break over this 255. We have a target of 265 and 270. Downside, I don't like it. QS, trying to wake up here. You see the volume has been trying to step up a little bit. I'll handle that in the pre-market as well. Roku had that strong hold down here. Now it's going to be a break over 545 for a target of 560, 570, and then this 580 area. On the downside, a break on the 320, trade back down towards 300 area. Shopify, break over 1175, target of 1200, 1225, and 1240. On the downside, it's a choppy zone. Stay away from it. Snow, I like as well here. I'll break over this 242, trade up towards 250, 255, and then 270 area. On the downside, it's held this 220 on the weekly chart, very strong. So I'm not gonna trade it until the break under this 200. Square. A break over 240. We have a target of 250, 260, and then 265. On the downside, a break under 220, trade it back down towards that 200 area. TDOC. All right, a break over this 190, trade up towards 200 and 210. If that 210 breaks, we have targets of 230 and 240. On the downside, a break under 170, trade down towards 160 and 150. Tesla. All right, I have two trend lines on her. The daily line and the 4-hour line right here. She rejected it a few times. Now I'm looking for a break over this, let's say 700 for a target of 720. If that 720 breaks, guys, it is still the key break. This is a 720 area. A break over that, it's going to be a straight fly up towards 740 and 750. On the downside, not liking it as much. I hate to say it. I'm not liking puts that much. Hurts to even repeat. But a break under the 650 area, we could trade down towards 640, 625, 620, and then just be careful until 600. TTD, anything good here? Break over this 700, trade up towards 750. On the downside, a break under 600, trade back down towards 550 and 500. UPST, a break over this 150, trade up towards 160 and 170. If that breaks, it's going to be 180, 190, and 200. 200 will be a hard break. Downside, avoid it. Wayfair, I'll break over this 350 for a trade up towards 355 and 360. A break over 360, we have a target of 370. Downside, stay away from it. Walmart, it's too slow right now. XBEV, a break over this 40, trade up every 250. On the downside, a break on the 35, trade back down towards 3250 and 30. GM, she's been rejecting this trend line over and over. She's making lower highs, but I don't like it until around this 300 area. So I'm gonna handle this for you guys in the pre-market. Upside, only if you hear some sort of lockdown news happening, so something's going on with all the lockdowns, then she's gonna be a strong play up. Besides that, no plays up on that. All right, guys. So I hope you guys have been enjoying my voice every morning on the voice chat. I'm trying to do that again this week, and I'm also going to try to do some more Zooms for you guys during pre-market hours. I mean, during market hours. All right, guys. Stay green, everybody.